A shocker in Stamford Bridge as Chelsea suffered their first loss January 15. Aaron Atayde, Stevie Nicol with you guys as Brentford shock the world and take down Chelsea on a huge performance. Stevie, your thoughts?
Oh my goodness. I mean, as soon as Chelsea score, again, you're thinking that this is done and dusted. For me, they were the team that was in control. And then just a crazy 10-minute spell where you got to give Brentford credit. Great passing, great movement, great finishing. And all of a sudden, it's 3-1 to Brentford at Stamford Bridge from absolutely nowhere. It just shows you that you have to concentrate for every second and every minute of every game, because if you go to sleep, well, you can find yourself from 1-0 up being 3-1 down. That's kind of what happened. A Chelsea defence that generally is pretty rock solid, all of a sudden just disappeared, lost its composure, and was overrun. So this is the type of thing that can happen. Unfortunately for Chelsea, it's becoming a little bit of a habit for me that the Chelsea that started the season was dominant and looked a force, looked unshakable, and certainly when they went ahead, looked as if they were never going to give anything up. As the season's going on, they're beginning to look a little bit more vulnerable. And now they find themselves what? Well, if Arsenal win on Monday, Arsenal's only 2 points behind Chelsea with the same games played. So Chelsea, from a comfortable third position in the league at one stage, are looking a little bit vulnerable now.
And of all the times to really have this little bit of a slip up here, like I said, first loss since Jan 15, this is the worst loss that they've had since April 3 of 2021. And all this right before they host Real Madrid. Is this a blip in the radar, or is this a cause for concern for Thomas Tuchel?
Wow. Is there somewhere in between?
No.
Well, because sometimes these things happen. You know, you dominate a game so much, and then there's a spell of 10 minutes where you lose 3 goals, and all of a sudden, before you wake up, that's what you're looking at. Now, some could say, look, this is a one-off. I guess the more worrying thing for me is the fact that going forward, they're not putting the ball in the back of the net the way they should be. You know, the amount of times they're running around the opposition's penalty area, penalty box, or on the break, the conversion rate is way, way shorter than it should be. Timo Werner gets a start, and again, this doesn't produce. And even then, you're bringing on Lukaku, 100 million pounds worth, and he really doesn't make an awful lot of difference. So I guess from a defensive point of view, these things can happen. It did happen. Get on the training field, just a little refresher course, should be fine. I think the biggest worry for Tuchel is what's happening going forward, because Real Madrid is going to be a real test.
Speaking of going forward, the story really of football, the heartwarming story that everyone is following, Christian Eriksen. What a story it has been on the international stage, now in the domestic league. Of course, the one thing is that his contract is coming towards an end. It was a great conversation to be had here. If you're a top 6 team, let's say Tottenham, Stevie, do you try and bring back Christian Eriksen to your side?
Oh, well, there's no doubt the quality he has. I mean, he can't score right now. He can't stop scoring for a start. Top 6. Listen, it would have to be Spurs. I don't think any of the other top sides would take him. You know, Spurs would take him because they don't have a player of his quality, or his makeup, shall we say, who's going to make goals, who's going to score goals. So after Tottenham, I don't think any of the top sides are going to take him. But what a story it would be if he did go back to Tottenham. Because I think he would make a difference to them, no question.
If there's one way to audition to return to Tottenham, score a goal in Stamford Bridge is always a great way to do it.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.